Hey everyone, so here are my thoughts and opinions here on the new Amazfit Trex 3 Pro. I think this is an awesome watch, especially considering it is $400 here in the US. I am on the mapping because I want to show off something right away, and that is you cannot discard a workout on the watch itself, which is kind of weird. So if we wake it up first, go over, we hit finish.
Workout completed. Congratulations.
It will say a whole bunch of stuff here, but there is no way for me to delete that, which is rather annoying. You have to go into the app and delete it that way, which is fine. It's just something that I wish this would let you do. It was like that. I've just been sitting here for the last 20 minutes or more making videos on this watch, and like I didn't actually do anything in that workout. But again, go in the app and I can delete it that way. Let's first talk about messaging here. That is something I really like about this watch, is now you can do legitimate messaging on the watch itself. When you get in a message or a phone call, you can of course see it right away on the screen. If you did not look at it right away, you will just swipe over, tap and hold. And now if you are using Android, you can do keyboard, you can do the talk to text, or do these little guys here. Emojis. You can do AI assistant, which will give a few seconds. It will just tell you what the message said. It does not talk it out loud, and it gives you a few options to reply, or go ahead and do that as well, the talk, or you hit this and it'll go back. You can pin it to the top, which means it will pin it to the top of your notifications, quick responses, or you can just delete it altogether. If you're using iOS with this watch, I believe you will only get the option of talking and maybe AI assistant. I have not hooked this up to either of my iPhones, so I'm not 100% sure on that. I just have it hooked up to a Samsung. But when you hooked up to Android, you will get yourself a keyboard here, and then you can type out your message. I did already talk about this in a completely different video, so just going over this very, very quick. It does not seem to be the most responsive of this. As you can see here, I'm tapping things, it just is not tapping it, and there's also no swipe. But it does get the job done if you want to not take out your phone, or if your phone's not near you. All in all, very, very awesome. And like I briefly said, this also does have a mic, which means you can answer phone calls. That I believe works with iOS or Android. I'm just going to be talking about a bunch of different things on this watch in no particular order. Next, I just want to talk about the flashlight, because that is of course a very cool feature, and it's just like my Garmin here, where it will turn on the flashlight with the Amazfit. You tap and hold the up, and it turns on the flashlight as well. So you do have red. So here we go. If you make sure it turns off for a second, when you turn it on, go ahead and hit up, and it will change the intensity or the color. So it'll change the intensity of the white, or it'll change it to red. So you have kind of like low, medium, high, like highest, and then red. And then there's also a way to get to do a super bright one as well, by holding down multiple buttons when you have it on. Very, very useful if you are like me and have to get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, don't want to turn on lights. Go ahead and just use that, and it works excellent. And I'm not going to be going through every single feature on this watch, because there is a ton. I'm just going to be going through things that I really like or do not like about the watch. Next thing here is does have, of course, sleep, and it does also have, I hit the wrong button there, also has do not disturb. But what I think is very, very cool, and something I love on my Garmin, is that if you hit this, it'll turn it to red. So now every single thing on here will be red, which is excellent for your vision at night. That way you're not getting all the blue light in your eyes and in you. You just go ahead and turn that on. Now everything is redded out. Something I really wish Apple would do with more than just certain watch faces. I absolutely love the feature on my Garmin, and I love it on here. Screen brightness here, you do have auto, which is what I've been keeping mine on, or you can of course turn it up or down. It does get nice and bright, but again, I think auto has been working very, very well for me. Been able to see it just fine outside or inside. This does have an SOS button. It'll turn to flash the flashlight. There's different things you can do with that, again, with the intensity of the flashlight or the color. Kind of cool if you're outside in the dark, get somebody's attention that's going by you. And to turn it off, just go ahead and hit it again. You can also lock the touchscreen, which is very nice. So in order to unlock it, then you just press and hold down any button. That way, if you're doing exercise or something, you will not accidentally hit it and mess up your screen, whatever's on your screen at the time. Very, very cool feature. Something, again, that the government also does that I absolutely love. One cool but kind of weird thing they can do with this watch is if you're using always on display like I am now, you can change the always on style, so you can follow the watch face that you're using, so it changes with the watch face. Or if you want, you can choose from these few different ones here, maybe 6 or so different styles. And then when you have, when you're not looking at the watch itself, it will change to one of these for the always on display. Kind of a cool thing. I'm just gonna keep it on this. So now if I turn off my display, being always on, it'll just do that. If you choose one of those selections, it will go to one of those. This has a whole bunch of different apps on it. Of course, you have all your workouts, your history, your biocharge, kind of your body battery like Garmin would have, your map, weather, phone, coach, workout status, heart rate, blood oxygen, activity, one-tap measuring, which measures a whole bunch of stuff at one time, and PAI, which is kind of your activity, your stress, sleep, compass, barometer, heart rate push, which I believe pushes your heart rate from the watch onto equipment that you're using. Here in the US, we do not get the NFC chip reader, so you cannot put in like your MasterCard or Visa onto the watch. I believe in other countries you can do so. So on here it just has membership cards, but you cannot use like credit or debit cards. Music, which is pretty much just music controls on here. Alarm, calendar, whole bunch of stuff. I would just stop reading these now. But I added in a calculator as well, so you get a bunch more apps through the App Store on your phone. You want to do that through the app, through the Zep app. And a whole bunch of stuff here, including a find your phone. And if we go into like workouts, so you can just hit the top up here. It includes so many workouts. I think it's 170 plus workouts. So we can hit this plus. And you can see it has all these different workouts, and within these workouts, there's even more workouts. So I believe it's 170 plus workouts on this device. Some of these are going to be unique, like this fishing one here. You actually will have like a fish caught counter and stuff like that. And then other ones are just going to be very kind of more basic, which will pretty much just give you like a heart rate and timer and stuff like that. Now a lot of these are kind of redundant. You'll get ones that are very, very similar to each other as well. Now let's talk about the assistant here. So this will do a whole bunch of different things, just like any assistant. So I can go down, so swipe up, and then we can get to assistant, or I can tap and hold this. It will beep. The screen will kind of change, like a slight blue will kind of go over it there, and then it will be activated. What's the weather for today?
It's sunny today. The high will be 84 degrees Fahrenheit, and the low is 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Enjoy the nice weather.
So that is very cool. How many feet are in 1 mile?
There are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Would you like to convert a distance for your workout?
So you can do a whole bunch of different stuff like this, or I can do like set an alarm for 4:45 p.m.
Done. Alarm is set for 4:45 p.m.
Very, very nice. It's not going to be the quickest, but it is definitely quick enough in my opinion. I quickly just compare this to my Apple Watch Ultra 1 here. Set an alarm for 4:45 p.m. How many feet are in 1 mile?
The answer is 5,280 feet.
So definitely quicker on here. But again, this is a $400 watch and it works very, very well. Like, it is pretty impressive. So this is a watch I personally would recommend for only $400 here in the US. I think what it does is very, very awesome. Yeah, it is a little bit weird. Like I said, with the messaging, it just doesn't always, like, the tabs don't always register correctly. There's no swiping. Definitely missing some random things like that don't really matter. I think for somebody who is not a very serious athlete, such as myself, who just wants something to go out and, you know, walk or hike or bike, you know, 5 miles, something like that, this thing is awesome. It's a very, very cool watch. I think it looks excellent. You can switch out these bands. They're 22 millimeter standard bands. For $400, this is something I would recommend. You guys let me know what you think, though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.